I forgot the intro. Welcome to the second episode from Australia. Yesterday was the shooting day, so everything went well. I got the lab space with the scientists, we got the interview, and even in the morning I was successful because I did a little bit of research and I found actually a pink lake here in Melbourne, which I didn't expect. But yeah, so I cycled there, I didn't waste any time and I tried my best, because actually it's not really certain that the water at this time of the year in autumn is pink, because there has to be special weather conditions, which is like sunny weather for a couple of days, no rain, and it also has to be pretty warm, and all of these things were given. So the water was really pink yesterday. And I also managed to get like some samples of the water, so we could use this also in the lab space, which was also good for the filming. So yeah, everything went well. This is the reason why I have a little bit more time today to explore Melbourne, quite a bit more. And yeah, that's it. So let's grab the camera like always and then explore the city. Here they're just waiting for their meal. It's really interesting, but you have to watch out when you eat something. The moment you stand up, they are there and they try to steal your food.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here.
That I can really say about Melbourne here, if we just compare it like to the food that I had, it is super expensive. I mean, just a regular nasi goreng that was $12.50 here, which is between 7 and 8 euro. And if I compare this to my nasi goreng that I usually eat in Malaysia, which is like in a local mamak 6 to 7 ringgit, which would be like €1.70, €2, I can eat this actually 4 to 5 times and have like 4 to 5 meals more when I just eat here one time. And that is actually crazy, but yeah, these are actually also the cheapest things, these are also the cheapest things beside like burgers, kebabs and sandwiches, so all the fast food that you can get. Otherwise, if you want like a proper meal here in a restaurant, it easily starts with 25 to 30 Australian dollars. So yeah, I was also doing some research about the average salaries here in Melbourne, because it was pretty interesting. And yeah, so the average is 3,500 to 3,600 euro, and that's also a lot. So yeah, life is pretty expensive here in Melbourne, but people also make a good dollar. You maybe also ask yourself, what is Hungry Jack actually? And it looks pretty familiar, or pretty similar to something else. I had the same feeling because the font reminded me in some way of Burger King. And actually it is Burger King, but here in Australia it is called Hungry Jack's, because Burger King didn't get the trademark here, because another local brand or whatever, what I read, was already called Burger King. So yeah, this is why Burger King is in Australia Hungry Jack's. Didn't know that. As much as I don't really like the cold weather, it's also nice to be back in a country where you actually have seasons, in this case autumn, because yeah, it reminds me a little bit of home, about my lovely Elmstown. And the other thing is also, I mean, the air quality in KL is actually pretty okay, but here, Melbourne, I really have to say, you have really fresh air. Here in Melbourne at 5 p.m. and so it gets dark and so it gets cold. But let me tell you something that I also recognized here, like I did the same thing with Jeremy in Singapore. The Australians, they have a lot of money to spend for their outfits, for beauty products and for their healthcare, because they look like perfect humans, super beautiful and handsome. Doesn't matter if it's the girls or the boys. And I always feel like an ugly Strauchdieb compared to the people here, also in Australia, same like in Singapore. So I think I have to do something. So I take all the donations to my YouTube channel or to my website. So if you want to help me, that you don't see me all the time with the same clothes and this ugly face here, maybe I can do something with your donations. And it also seems like that the Australians really know how to live their life and how to enjoy life, because it's not even 6 p.m. and all the bars and restaurants here are crowded and full of people. So yeah, they have a good time, that's for sure. And yeah, maybe another thing, if you're asking yourself maybe where this super curl actually comes from. Last week it was the first time that I was at a barber in Malaysia. And yeah, I told him, just make it a little bit shorter, keep the same hairstyle. And my Indian fellow said all the time, okay, sir, I want to put a haircut for you, I want to make... And yeah, in the end, that was the result, yeah. But 12 ringgit, can't beat this price. I found a nice lamp here in the Batman Park, so I have a good light situation for the last statement for today. It was nice to stroll around the city, explored a little bit more of Melbourne and learned about the Australian culture and how much money they have. And yeah, tomorrow I'm off to Tasmania. I'm actually looking forward to this adventure because it should be more a little bit like a nature adventure. The last few months I just spent like in big cities, Singapore, Bangkok, KL of course, and now in Melbourne. So yeah, it's nice to escape the city a little bit. I also rent a car there, so I can also go around Tasmania pretty easy by myself, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's it. Time to get some dinner, get back to the hotel, and then pack my stuff. And then we see us in the next episode from Tasmania. So thanks for tuning in as always, and bye bye. There's a seagull. See ya.